turned into a tight tussle here at Patterson Stadium, but in the end our boys stood tall in the fourth term to deliver our 8th win of the season. 3-week break. Tom Roach is back, the Swan District's midfielder. Where you been? How'd you find the game?
Not a bad game, Thumper. I've been away, okay, and I've missed a couple of reviews. Sorry to our faithful audience. Yeah, look, we're pretty good, mate. They're a much improved side, the Gold Coast. There's no doubt about that. Gary Ablett's a freak. We are able to keep him pretty low. And don't forget, last time we played, we did beat him by 126 points, okay? But they're not that team anymore, and they'll be looking to make finals next year.
We are still an outside chance, but it will go down as a wasted season, you know, on the outskirts of the finals. Skipper Darren Glass gave us a bit of an insight as to why this might have been the case.
I think it's to do with injuries. I think we've had, there's certainly an element of luck when it comes to injuries. There's certainly, we'd have to, as the club always does, review a lot of stuff and have a look at management and all those sorts of things in terms of the managing players. But I think basically it's been injuries, and then we haven't really been able to gain any momentum. We've made changes just about every week to the team. So all that stuff then takes into account.
It's a job that many midfielders would dread, but for Scott Selwood, tagging Gary Ablett is becoming a regular thing. And for good reason. He's doing a bloody good job.
Oh, I suppose so, Thumper, but 27 touches and 2 goals is pretty good for most midfielders, but we do know that Gary Ablett's an absolute freak. He's averaging just over 35 touches this year, and he will win the Brownlow. Sportsbet have already paid out on Gary Ablett winning the Brownlow.
Unbelievable.
That is unbelievable.
Scoot had 27 touches himself, so he was making Gary accountable all day. It was a courageous effort to play on after this head-high hit he received at the end of the third term. Typical Selwood toughness, came back, no ill effects in the final quarter. Fellow hardnut Patrick McGinnity just praised Selwood on his excellent defensive efforts for the day.
Scott's just moved his game so quickly to another level. He's as good as anyone defensively. We're constantly showing clips of his defensive work, yet he's the one that, is always good for a goal and uses the ball really well going forward. So he's, a good example of something like that.
He'll go down as one of the greatest ruckmen of all time, and in his 13th season, he's still pulling out best on-field performances. Dean Cox finishing with a whopping 44 hit-outs against a very depleted Gold Coast ruck division, mind you. 19 touches, 9 marks, and a snagger, Roachie.
That is probably best on ground. Well done, Coxie. But what dominated the headlines, Thumper, was the fact that he wore number 46 in the second half, which actually belongs to Simon Tunbridge. And it was good to see that the commentators actually filled us in on that one.
Hey, Hutto, just found out down here, how do you think the property steward's going? He couldn't find the spare jumper. Not too hard of a job, surely. Moons.
Sounds credible, but completely made up by Cam Moody. Probably shows his journalistic credibility really skyrocketing there. But at least we had some order restored when son of the property steward and also communications worker Ben Roberts texted into Hutto, just letting him know the real reason behind it all.
Now, Moons, I'm told, been contacted by the West Coast Eagles. Dean Cox's jumper was ripped in the first half. They do have spares made, but 4 of them came to us with manufacturing errors.
Oh, leave my daddy alone.
Don't be mean.
Oh, he's trying hard.
That was classic. And it was great to see commentator Tony Shaw capped it off with a real bonehead comment.
Not bad, Cam. That property steward's been there for 50 years. He's 86 and you want to get him sacked.
Only one problem with your story, Shorey.
What?
I don't think they've been in the competition for 50 years.
Oh, that's right.
Whoops.
Swing and a miss. That's unlucky. The boys had a good laugh about it on the podcast this week.
Does Simon Tunbridge get royalties for that? Or?
Surely. Does Hunters get the stretch marks repaired at the front of the jumper where Coxie's stomach was?
It's raining goals. Hallelujah. It's raining goals. That's what key defender Eric McKenzie is thinking head into the back end of 2013. He's kicked 1 goal last year in 79 attempts, but he's come out this season and notched a mammoth 3 to his name.
Well, mate, that's amazing. Some are saying it was Peter Matera S from 92. It's the big fella. He's got range. He can kick it from over 50. And look, once he's had a taste, he just can't help himself.
That's it. Good to see all his teammates got around him, being that it was such a rarity to kick the goal, and that he's such a champion bloke as well. This is what the fullback's motivation is, why he's just notching up the tally.
Yeah, he's trying to catch me. He's still 4 behind me, so I've got a few tricks to teach him yet.
Speaking of goals, young midfielder Mark Hutchings registered his first career goal on the weekend. Did it on the opposite foot, mind you, just to challenge himself a bit. Maybe because he missed a sitter on the right foot in the previous quarter. Who knows, Roachie?
Well, mate, you never know, but look, it was reviewed, and if it wasn't reviewed, the celebration would have been a lot harder. He'll look back on that moment very fondly, but he won't look back on this one too much. Mate, what was going on here? It was the first 2 minutes of the game. You're not tired Hutch, what happened?
Yeah, I thought I had 100 yards of space in front of me and obviously not behind me. But yeah, the crowd was yelling, and I thought they were yelling because it's telling me to run. But obviously, get rid of the footy was what they were trying to tell me. But
He's 5 in the clear for the Coleman. JK had an unbelievable year, but we've talked about him ad nauseum, Rochi. He's might have All-Australian locked up, but seeing as though we've talked about him so much, just give me one word. I'm going to lock in fast. He's probably one of the quickest in the team. I'm going to say that. Nick Nat, when he's healthy, second quickest. He is fast. What do you got?
Beard?
Really?
Yeah, I like it.
I love it.
Yeah, it's
Mate,
good.
what about his run-up? I think his run-up will get so much attention next year in the pre-season. Like, will he have it? Is he getting rid of it? It'll be a disgrace.
No, it will be a disgrace. It's going to be just as much of a joke as what news.com.au covered, with their main story of the week being a character dying from a TV show, The Offspring. That's unbelievable stuff.
I love it, Rochi.
Right.
All right, move on to Magic Moment. We've got a couple of special mentions that didn't quite make it. We've got Josh Hill, blind turn in midair, pulling off a very difficult grab here, and he slotted the goal. What about Andrew Embley? He came on the ground, talk about having an impact as a sub. He's kicked a goal in 90 seconds.
Well done.
Talk about feeling the pace of the game.
Anyway, my magic moment is when Eric McKenzie slammed Campbell Brown into the fence. Eric's gone, oh, is he okay? Better help him up. Campbell's cracked absolute sad and wanted to kill him. So that was a good magic moment, that one.
Excellent work. It's a Sunday game. It's against the Bombers. It's the second time of the year we've played them. Let's hope we rectify the loss at Patterson Stadium. Let's look at the teams now. Coming into the side, Matty Prittis recovered from his quad strain or soreness that he had. Chris Marston just had 1 week off after his horrific ankle injury. Excellent effort. Lecker, the hot spot from his foot's flared up all right. And Pat McGinnity getting his call up after his suspension and one excellent game in the Waffle. Adam Carter, the one resting for this week. It's going to be a big game. It's going to be a classic one if they get up. Let's wave a few jackets. I'm going to lock in my match winner before you get a chance to, mate.
Yeah, mate.
I'm going to lock in Pat McGinnity. Might not even make the final team.
Probably won't play.
We recorded this before, but I would love to see him go to Brendan Goddard on a forward tag and shut his roll down.
Nah, it's all right, mate.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not
too
great.
bad. I'll
It's
laugh
not
if he doesn't
great.
get his
Yeah,
game.
I
Anyway,
know.
my match winner will be the bloke playing, and it's Jack Darling, the big forward. He was a bit quiet last week, but I'm expecting 4 to 5 goals from him this week. And we need to take a bit of pressure away from Josh.
Excellent. Lefty round. Are you excited for it, mate?
Not really. I couldn't care less. I'm a right footer, but what is this?
Sweet, late ended.